Is Bitcoin, crypto, Cardano putting anybody else to sleep? Because I'm kind of getting sleepy looking at these charts. If you're bored, like I am, watching these charts, hit the like button for me right now as we start this video. I do want to do a Bitcoin technical analysis to give you an idea of why this is frustrating, and we're going to kind of integrate the technical analysis into me venting. If we go to a 6-hour chart and zoom out a little bit, Bitcoin has given us structure. We've got nice structure throughout this entire rising channel, this rising wedge setup. But the thing is, in that structure, we've gotten really nice breakouts to the targets. So there's some structure back there, a breakout to the upside, creating new structure, another rising wedge. And then we got a nice breakout to the downside, creating this double touch on this lower trend line. Here's where the frustration comes for me. We got nice structure once again, an ascending triangle that we were tracking very nicely, actually, even on the 6-hour. We got the break to the downside, the nice move back to the upside to this lower trend line, that pullback that we always talk about, that 60, 70% of the time that happens, we always see these things happen. It seems the consistency. We get the resistance there. We start falling. Here's where Bitcoin starts really playing with my emotions here, because we did not hit our lower trend line target as quickly as I would have liked to, right? Or even if it's not going to get hit and it's going to be kind of a busted pattern, doesn't play out perfectly, we didn't even get a drawback, any type of rally. It's literally just been sideways on this chart right now. So if we change this to a daily chart, this is where the frustration comes in, but we're going to look at why Bitcoin is really actually, though, so boring right now. It's so close to giving us this macro signal that it could really go one way or another, but we're going to know very quickly. So the reason why this is, we look at this daily chart and we just viewed what's going on in the short term. Tracking it kind of becomes kind of ridiculous. We're going to continue tracking as Bitcoin kind of trades between the 20-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. The reason why we're waiting for this macro indicator is this. We discussed in the last video what happened in the 2015 bear market low. And it was this move of resistance to the 50-week moving average, kind of breaking out of the bear market and then just kind of falling right back down to do another swing low. It's a higher low. This is the end of the bear market, but that one last resistance off the 50-week. We're getting very close now. Here we are on the weekly chart right now with continued resistance at this 50-week. We could get a very bullish move to the upside, breaking that 50-week moving average, and this would be an incredibly bullish indicator that kind of takes us and removes us from that 2015 situation. And then we start looking at the possibilities of maybe, a 2018 exit, right? And this is actually 2019 exiting the bear market. A more just fire, momentum, just explosion kind of out of the bear market low. We're getting very close to kind of getting that answer here on the weekly chart, but we're not there yet. What would make the move for Bitcoin above that 50-week moving average, that blue line? Bitcoin is like there right now. What would it be? We have to go to the incredibly frustrating, annoying, boring chart, because this is the consolidation that is unfortunately just happening. The convergence, the 50-day moving average being pulled into the 20-day moving average, and Bitcoin just hovering at this area right now. A bounce above the 50-day moving average for just a continued upside would be the move. The reason I say that is because historically, let's go back and let me show you this. Historically on Bitcoin charts, when we're looking at a daily chart, the higher highs and the higher lows of support above these two moving averages, the 20 in green, the 50 in blue, those are it's just such a nice picture of a bullish environment, right? We can't necessarily call this the bull market back here in 2019, but that was an incredibly bullish phase for Bitcoin exiting the bear market. And what makes that picture really is the moving averages. And it's Bitcoin either seeing support right above around the 20-day or just above the 50-day moving average for a bounce of continuation to the upside. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is just because on the current daily chart, yes, it's like 7 days of just, we don't know what's going to happen. But you can see how the support within this range of these two moving averages as they converge, it's right there, right? So if we're going to monitor anything on the short term, it really is all the way down here to the $22,800, $22,900 area. Will there be continued support, and will Bitcoin bounce away from that area back above the 20-day? The 20 days is almost immediately where Bitcoin is right now. And will it make that move to the $26,000 area, this high area for Bitcoin? Remember, we're in a channel that has a target to the upside of around 30,000 and a target to the downside of around 20,000. So there's a lot to track here. And it depends if you're looking at the short term or the zoomed out to kind of get a gauge of what's in play. When I zoom all the way out on this chart, though, even if Bitcoin just capitulates down to $20,000, hits that target on the macro, Bitcoin is in this macro pivot out of this bear market right now, and we've covered this in so many different perspectives. And it could be short term, midterm, kind of bearish to downside target, but long term, this is exactly the setup we need to get ready for the next bull market. So we're going to look at ADA now on the charts. I mean, equally as frustrating, if not more. Before we do, everybody, special shout out to our sponsor, Coinledger. Crypto tax is done in minutes. You all know I've been just talking about them a lot. I want to put the link in the description below. If you've not done this yet, go get set up for free. Even if you're on the fence of like, I don't know if I'm going to utilize this or pay for it when I get my report ready. And it's so affordable, by the way. Just go get set up for free, mess around with it, and start meditating on the fact that if you're in crypto and you have like a Coinbase account or exchange accounts, this is, I don't know how many trades you all are doing, but if you've been in crypto for any amount of time doing things, accumulating, selling some, you're going to have transactions, right? And tracking these manually, right? Tracking these manually, containing them, putting them into a report, and you go to the review section of this and it really starts breaking down every single trade. To do all this manually to get an idea of what's going on in your tax report and then to have a finished report, it could be very stressful and time consuming, and you can mess up, and there's a lot of room for error. This thing reconciles everything and just bundles it up at the click of buttons. So you can just see, you can separate by short term, long term, and you can just go in and read what your long term trades were and just get an exact gains loss picture of that, and so much more in terms of the reporting that goes on back here. But this is the purpose, to kind of get set up. You go set up for free and start seeing how this works. And I literally I just got done doing my taxes with my CPA, and what's just so cool is he's back here. So there's so much that you can do in terms of connecting with a CPA. You can just click the top right, add tax professional. You can just add whoever you want to invite. If you have somebody that's outside of this network, Coinledger, who they use, you can do that here. But everybody, I'm telling you, it is so clutch, so helpful, so stress relieving to use Coinledger. Get set up, hit the link, the CCV link below, get set up with them, get started, get your taxes done right. I can't encourage you enough. That alone is just, using Coinledger or not, that alone is just really important just to get your taxes done correctly. So hit them up in the link below, get set up with them, and thank you, Coinledger, for sponsoring the video. Let's go over to Cardano. So Cardano on the monthly, I want to show something special on the monthly, but before we do, this is the weekly chart. So first things first, everybody, we're not on a daily like we just were, considering the last 7 days and how frustrating Bitcoin has been on the daily chart sideways for 7 days. This is a weekly chart and almost an identical scenario as the daily Bitcoin chart. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, a month and a half, trending basically sideways, ADA. So I'm also getting bored with tracking the charts, watching them. I really am. But at the same time, I'm so intrigued because we are at this monumental area in terms of the charts, right? When we look back on what's actually happening right now on these charts, this is probably one of the most crucial times for the next bull market. I say pivot point a lot. It probably sounds repetitive at this point, but we're in that pivot point, and this is like an anchor to what's getting ready to happen in this next bull market. And so we're in that move right now. And, I created this YouTube channel to track the journey. I'm just going to continue doing it. And we're just going to continue waiting for really big, important things to happen. Namely, is there going to be continued support at the 20-week moving average? If not, I want to just talk about a very clear target that I have to the downside. It's similar to Bitcoin to the downside. It's 100% in play. Before we go and look at that target real quick, I just want to discuss this. This is the monthly charts on ADA. Now, it's the momentum oscillator. Number one, this slower moving momentum oscillator, it is, if there's any word to use, it is reset. We just survived, I mean, I think in all of ADA's trading, the worst of all ADA charts. We just survived the worst of it. This bear market. This is a monthly momentum oscillator going from extremely overbought February 2021 to, look at this, almost 2 years, basically 2 years later. This was a 2-year process to do this. We are reset. And I just did a video last night discussing Cardano and how it is set. The stage is set considering what's happening with total value locked. At this point of the market when things are boring, it's approaching all-time highs. DeFi is here and ready for the next bull market. So the stage is set, and the worst I think is over. This took 2 years to reset this oscillator, this momentum oscillator. And then right now, look at this. The momentum on this stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator, just turning around, getting ready to kind of exit this oversold area. The momentum shift in Cardano is here. The reason why that's important is because right now we have less people watching these crypto videos on YouTube and stuff, but time is running out like it's never been running out. So, you know, people are kind of stepping away, but the time is ticking in terms of ADA. And this does allow room to the downside, even on the stock or even on this RSI. This could tick down. This could put a higher low on this weekly, on this monthly chart. I'm sorry. And this is what it looks like. I want to go to the daily. So we are continually just grappling with this lower high resistance area that you see that we've been tracking in terms of ADA, that swing high back here, November to swing low over here in December. Look at this. This just played out like such nice resistance. No surprise. We didn't get the bullish confirmation, the bullish break above or outside separation from that area, and we're falling right back below. Now, if you zoom in here, there is kind of this clear area of like just support. We've had a most recent daily wick right there. We've had a daily wick right here, and this was February 13th, and right here, January 26th. So you can just see this support area potentially in play right now is a head and shoulders. If ADA makes a move to these moving averages that are, look at this, confluent resistance at around 37, 38 cents. If ADA can make a move there, if it holds resistance, comes back down, that's a pretty clear head. Now, don't know if it's going to happen. At the same time, if ADA breaks above those moving averages, could be an extremely bullish indicator. And a lot of this is going to be, stem from what happens with traditional markets, the stock market, US dollar currency index, and everything else going on in the world. But if we get that move, crypto starts going bullish, ADA could explode through these moving averages to really, truly put in an epic kind of chart as we're tracking this journey. Now, if it fails, even if it fails right now and doesn't even put in a right shoulder, but if it fails at this support and ADA and crypto just starts falling, it really is just such a realistic target to the downside because it's such a simple target. It's a higher low target. We zoom out on the daily, and what is it? It is the swing low back here to swing high. We have a consolidation area, higher low area. It's around 31 cents at the 618 to the 786 at around 27 cents. Yes, it's possible. ADA falling back below 30 cents. And yes, I say that, and there's going to be people like, oh, come on, man, I'm sick of this. ADA's done. But when I look at that potential move, I don't enjoy it, especially after just sideways and just struggling sideways at resistance. It is such a bullish setup. If ADA can put in a higher low after this swing low, this bear market swing low, and the same thing on Bitcoin and all crypto charts, if we get a macro higher low, when you start zooming out on this chart, we start seeing the picture that is forming. And again, I know it's boring, grueling, and a lot of people are even just leaving. They're not tuning in. But what's happening now is exciting when we look back. If we eventually do start approaching all-time highs again, breaking all-time highs, when we look back at this moment, this will be the pivot point. And so we're going to continue tracking it. It's grueling, but I do enjoy it. I'm always wondering what the charts are doing. It's been a little bit boring, don't get me wrong, but this is what we're looking at. So there's a target to downside for ADA, and target to upside, not really any target. Just curious to see if ADA even makes a move to the 37 cent, 38 cent range, these moving averages, what happens there? That's something to keep an eye on. So that is my technical analysis for you all as we go into the end of this week. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll see what markets do. But I hope you're well out there. Hit the subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.